That's cool. I heard from this guy. I just really, this is a professionally done video that is just absolutely stunning, that I've been into for like since January of 2012, and it's David DWYZ David Dwight Wayman. David Dwight Wayman. Dwizak the Elevator Died in Your Arms, featuring Susie Ruthless. It's kind of a rap thing with a pop song break, but the video and the song, everything is just absolutely stunning. And he's a fellow professional who does this stuff, and very, you know, artfully. And so he just sent me a little note. The problem is, it's only got 8,000 hits. When I finally pull this whole thing together, this is one of the people that do excellent work consistently, that I'm going to probably sign to my label in some way, or incorporate them in some way. God, there must be a billion people on YouTube with labels and shit, you know. And again, with me, I've worked at the highest levels professionally, so it must seem like, oh, this guy's just some big dreamer. It's like, no, I understand that, but I've been a part of, you know, the real deal. So, but yeah, especially in my current deal, guy, you know, in an RV in the middle of nowhere making music videos, gonna sign people to his record label. But there's just a tad more to it than that, you know. That reminds me of people with vision. And I started a really small recording studio in Los Angeles while I was in college and tech school. They overlapped each other. And it was, you know, actually the icon of me standing at the original E-Zone is the icon of this channel. And the graphic, you know, the avatar I have. And but people with vision became really, because that little, I worked with, you know, David Bowie and Peter Gabriel and U2 and all of these hundreds of people's music in that room. And a lot of times I'd master compilations, so there's 10 gold album credits in one day, sometimes 10, 12, sometimes 18, 20 in one day. And so a lot of success came out of that little room. Then it moved up, and then it became manufacturing and graphics of DVDs and CDs, and then it became other stuff. Now this guy I'm going to block. I don't mind getting a lot of stuff from a lot of people. Oh, I didn't block him because actually I get a lot of spam from him, but the last one was cool, but it was about tanks in military tanks in oh, I see, no wonder he's on my other channel, military tanks in Los Angeles, and there were hundreds of military tanks going by. But anyway, it was interesting. But yeah, people with vision. And what I found out was, yeah, that first environment was really shitty, or you know, it was, let's say, ghetto. It wasn't. And what I realized later was people enjoyed that environment because it was ghetto. Even huge, you know, companies and stars and shit. Man, I blocked him. Good. With my other account, I blocked him. But, so anyway, a lot of things were involved with that whole deal. Oh, no, get out. And I'm going to close that page. So, what I learned was some people, there were two kinds of people, and overwhelmingly they were cool, but I'm just getting up. It's 3:05 a.m. I'm getting up ready to go at it again. But this was important, and an important story in my life, and I'm going to finish it correctly if you just bear with me. So it was a humble little shed, but I had done a lot of major league work out of there. But my friend, I kind of knew from the graphic shop, Doug. I'm going to have this guy, Zach. I'm going to get back to the story, but Zach has a store. I think I'm going to put up a store because a lot of people want to buy my stuff now. So Doug, I sort of knew from the graphic shop, and he was kind of not a Hollywood guy. He was there, but he was kind of homely, and he overweight and kind of a doofus, you know. I had an answering machine, and it would say, "Hi, you've reached the E-Zone Studio. You know, please leave a message. I'll call you back, and we offer these services." And I noticed when the people would call in the answering machine, the people who were kind of jerks and really never went anywhere would say stuff like, "Yeah, the E-Zone Studio, my ass. You're a fucking guy in a shed," you know, which it was a glorified shed, sure, you know, it was. But I noticed the people with vision, like some big time music people, would call and go, "Hey, how's it going, man? You know what? You are so right the fuck on working in this the way that you do, out of this really humble environment. Everybody loves it, and gosh, you're having so much success. This is awesome. Keep it up. I think it's just going all the way, man. You really, you know, you really got yourself together." And you know, I noticed it's like the people with vision can see from humble beginnings some really cool stuff that's coming and is in the act of happening, and those people tended to become more and more successful. The ones who would always kind of build me up when they called, and the ones that tore me down eventually, you know, who knows what happened to them. They never came anywhere near their dreams. I know that for a fact because I kind of tagged around with some of them, and I've Googled around and looked it up. But that urge to tear each other down. I had an assistant who was German. What do they call it? Freudenschreuder or Schadenfreude or whatever, the Germans. I'm going to look that up. He would always tell me that people, when I started having success, he would always tell me, and he was a gay German guy, and how I ended up with him as an assistant, I don't know, but he would say, "Oh yeah, of course, it's Schadenfreude, what, a Freudenschade, I think it's Schadenfreude." It's taking delight in other people's failure, and it's a German term. You know, I should know that. I just don't remember it, but he would say that all the time. And I was like, what do you know, no, not me, what are you talking about? But he was really sort of into the whole sexual vibe of men and women and this whole thing. And I really was like, dude, you know, make the coffee and clean the place up and learn to mix and it's kind of butt out, you know. I liked him, but he was really nosy. But he would always say, "Yeah, of course, these people don't like you. They're tearing you down. They're jealous of you behind your back and all. Yeah, man." You know, and I'd just be like, no. But, you know, now that I'm doing all these things, I can kind of see that he was right, that sometimes people do kind of take delight in your failure. And I've done that too, but they also take delight in your success. And, you know, so it's like a two-way street there. But I think my point is that the people with vision were able to sort of see things from humble beginnings, how big they could be, and support it. And the people who were just sort of losers just never could, never did. And so they couldn't see their own humble beginnings and respect them. So. And the other thing on that same note I found out was people would come in, and sometimes world-renowned, world-famous people would be in my studio, and the people who were really, in every case, those people who had huge success were interested in the new music I was working on. At the end of a session, they would say, "Hey, what do you got that's interesting? Anybody come through that has something that sounds good?" And in every case, those people would be very, very complimentary of other people's work. I had one guy, a household name, who was like, "God, that's good. I can't believe these guys are, oh man, that's incredible. You know, I can't believe people listen to me at all." And this guy's a household name. And I was like, wow, is he cool or what? But, you know, then I had a bunch of sort of greedy, like young wannabe rock star types come through as well. And almost all of those people were like, well, that's okay, but it's not like my music, and this sucks about them, and that sucks about them, and this sucks and that sucks, you know. And those people, not a single one of those people ever went anywhere. It was, oh, there's another couple of comments and stuff. But yeah, and in fact, I got really annoyed with those people, the young hotshot wannabes who criticized everything. But I just found it interesting that those type of critical people sort of criticizing everyone else and only listening to their own material and stuff, nothing ever happened with them. And it's because nobody wants to see that kind of ugliness, you know, and I think it comes through in their music. So those are some of the things that have been on my mind as I go through this. There's some really overwhelmingly beautiful stuff that people have said to me and posted in support from complete strangers. And then there's a few people who've been sort of negative, and I notice the negative people on here don't have very many hits, and they suck. So, for what it's worth.